At exactly 2:47 a.m., I was standing outside the infamous Bellwood House. Locals say this place is one of the most haunted houses in the country. Three different paranormal investigators came here before me, and all three of them quit before sunrise. Some people claim they heard whispers inside the walls. Others say they saw someone standing in the attic window, watching them. Most people refuse to even step onto this property, but for some reason, I decided to spend the entire night inside. Looking back now, that might have been the worst decision I've ever made. The moment I stepped through the front door, something felt wrong. The air inside the house felt heavy, not just cold, heavy, like the house itself didn't want me there. Every step I took on the old wooden floor made a loud creak, echoing through the empty hallway. At first, I tried to tell myself it was just nerves, just my imagination. But then, something strange happened. As I walked deeper into the hallway, the temperature suddenly dropped. It felt like I had stepped into an invisible wall of freezing air. I checked every window, every door, everything was closed. But the cold spot didn't move. It stayed right there, in the middle of the hallway. A few minutes later, I heard something that made my heart stop. A whisper, right next to my ear. Soft, slow, almost like someone quietly said, "Leave." I spun around instantly, but there was no one there. The hallway behind me was completely empty, and yet I couldn't shake the feeling that something was standing right next to me, watching me. A little later, it got even worse. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move, a shadow, standing at the far end of the hallway. When I turned my head to look directly at it, it was gone, but the feeling of being watched never left. By that point, it was around 2:30 in the morning, and I made a decision I immediately regretted. I decided to check the basement. The stairs leading down were old and narrow, and every step groaned beneath my weight. The basement felt completely different from the rest of the house, colder, darker, and unbelievably quiet. I had only been down there for about a minute when suddenly I heard a loud bang upstairs. It sounded like a door had slammed shut. I ran back up the stairs to check, but when I reached the hallway, everything was silent again, completely silent. I stood there, trying to listen, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, walking across the floor above me. Step, step, step. My heart started racing because earlier that night I had checked every single room in that house. There was no one else inside, and that's when I realized something absolutely terrifying. I wasn't alone in Bellwood House. I left the house not long after that, but before I got into my car, I turned around and looked back at the attic window. And for just a second, I swear I saw someone standing there, watching me. If you want to hear what happened when I returned to that house the next night, make sure you subscribe, because what happened on night 2 was even worse.